Hello and welcome to Darlington. My name is Justin. I'm the owner of Team 53 and I partner with Coach Dave Academy and Impel Motorsports to bring you this week's Learn to Drive video for ARCA at Darlington as part of iRacing's 2025 Season 4 Week 3 official series. If you guys can, make sure you like and subscribe. It does a ton to help out my channel. I'm a very small time racer here in Wisconsin. I have a late model that's parked in my garage. It's been parked for most of the season. Probably won't be getting it out at all this season, but my daughter Sydney has been racing go-karts. You can follow along with her journey on our Facebook page. You can join the Team 53 Discord, listen to our podcast that we put out every week. A bunch of different things that we have going on. But whatever it is that you choose to do, we appreciate it, whether it's watching the video, sharing it with a friend, just any of that, it all comes out to help. Looking at qualifying for Darlington. So we're going to really kind of look at this in two different ways. There's going to be a focus for qualifying and then there's a focus for race. So qualifying is about running your fastest lap possible. For me, it was an O. You'll kind of see here an 001 was my fastest lap here in this session. I think I had like 97, 98 track temp, so it's pretty warm in this room. Um, but this was kind of my best lap here coming out for qualifying. So stay down here on the apron, just kind of get up to speed. We'll talk about our friends at Impel Motorsports and impelmotorsports.com. If you're looking to upgrade any of your sim racing equipment, head on over there. They're great people. They sell Moses stuff, next level sim rigs, real race car parts as well. So anything that you might need there. If you head to the Team 53 Discord, you can get free shipping on your next level sim rig order. So definitely make sure you hop in there. We'll get you going there. But lap one's just kind of a lap to get some heat in the tires, a little bit of a throwaway lap here. We're not too concerned with our lap time or our speed that we have there. As we come around the track here, exit of 2 is going to be really tricky, just kind of keeping that in mind. And then 3 and 4 down here is really going to be where you guys really have to be careful. So I went nice and low. I got a good head of steam coming up here, coming off the corner to get me down the front stretch. Now you'll notice Darlington is one of those tracks where it's got seams all the way across it. So it's really easy when you're in the car to just kind of put that seam, maybe on like a hood pin or just to the left of you. But look at where you are on track and then go into your far chase cam and you should see your left side tires right around that, maybe a little bit above, and that's when you know you've got good placement on the track. Darlington's a really narrow track, so we want to use as much track width as we possibly can to get ourselves in and out of the corners. So we're here, we're going to hop here in the cockpit and we'll just kind of go down the front stretch here. So we go down the front stretch nice and tight here up against the wall. As we start to head into turn 1, we see the cookout stuff there on the wall, and you're going to notice we're going to start to cheat down to the bottom. I like to try and get my left side tires right down on that lower black seam there in the corner, if not below. So we get there, that's kind of our lowest point here on the car. So left side tires a little bit below. I don't like to get down onto the flat because that'll really kind of free up a little bit too much sometimes, but just get nice and low there. Bring it down, let the car drift up here in the corner. You can see I'm back on throttle, lifting back out here center of the corner, just kind of letting it float out. And then we're going to get back on here and ride high down the track. We go down the back stretch, kind of the same deal. Left side tires right on that seam. It's going to look the same from inside the car. And then we get ready here for turn 3. And the big thing is going to be from inside the cockpit, just kind of seeing where you're at and then bringing it down. I like to run kind of down here towards the bottom of the track. So bring the car into the bottom. You'll see some guys go down here onto the apron. Potentially just give them a little bit more room, and then just kind of let this car drive up the track coming off mid corner there. You see we're still floating, and then once we get back to the cookout here, we'll get back on throttle, and then we'll just let this drive right off the corner and give us a pretty good lap here at Darlington. 29001. So let's go inside the car, presented by my friends at Overdrive Racing Oils and Lubricants. They're an independent AMSOIL dealer. I use it in my personal car. If you click the link in the description below, it gives the channel credit and it helps us get a little bit more revenue to keep everything free on the channel. So here's a lap inside the car. And there you have it, inside the car, presented by our friends at Overdrive Racing Oils and Lubricants. So, race pace. Something that we really have to talk about here is race pace sustainable. So, this was kind of an all-out run here, laps 5 through 9 that you see, and that's what I'm calling the 198. I'm calling that my optimal race lap. I'm not going to necessarily do an 001 just because I don't feel like I would ever run that hard in a race run. But what you're going to see here is I came back down and I ran a 198 as well in another room. So a couple 198s, that's why I called it there. But look at that fall off. So now we go down here and we say, let's back this optimal time down to a 34, 33, somewhere in there. So how am I doing that? I'm going to be letting off a lot more, but a great tool that you guys can use, and we talk about this in all the ARCA videos, is to go into your settings and then into your interface, split time delta, and turn the display delta bar on. And then I have it set to session last lap. I would say put to session best lap. And then what that's going to do is that's going to tell you my best lap is an 001. So I know that when I go out on track, I need to be 0.3 to 0.4 off. Now, typically I tell you guys, maybe a tenth or two. Darlington, 40 laps here is going to be a race that is going to chew those tires. So I would back it down even more and go probably 3 to 4 tenths slower. And then the other part of that too is that I would expect in a D-class race that a lot of guys are going to haul off into turn one and cause havoc. So if you don't qualify, top five-ish, I would strongly consider just not even qualifying if your pace isn't there, but starting from the pits just to gain SR and probably gobbling up some spots when guys wreck, or just kind of riding at the back for the first few laps. So what does turning that split time delta on do for you? Well, it's going to make it a lot easier. So when we hop in here, I have the session best lap set here. If you need to edit where you have stuff, hit the edit UI. You can move stuff where you need to, lock UI, and it'll be there. So we're going to go out on track, and I'm going to show you guys kind of how I use this tool to set a lap time for me. So we'll go around here. And we'll kind of look at this, and then I'll go into the garage and we'll kind of look at tire wear. So last time I did this, 98.98. The time before that, it was 96.98 with racing hard. So it definitely burned off more tire to run harder. And that's just going to be something that, we have to look at here as we run. So we'll go around the track. You're going to kind of see me take it really, really easy around this place. I just kind of know where I'm at line-wise. So the big thing you see here is going to be the delta right there in the top of the screen. That's what I'm going to use, and I know I need to be about 0.3. This lap's probably going to be a little bit more because I was way offline going into one. But we're just going to kind of get up to speed and get this car feeling really, really well. We'll lift for this corner, really under drive 3 and 4. Try and stay off the right front as much as possible so that I'm not having to put a ton of wheel in and just shearing that right front off. So that was a really slow lap. This lap we're going to go a little bit faster. So you see just kind of floating maybe 50% throttle through that corner, giving it the beans here as I straighten out on exit to go down the backstretch. We'll do the same thing here into 3. We're going to lift a lot. We'll let it rotate. Kind of start getting back on at cookout, really get back full throttle here on exit. And we're going to be a little faster than what we want to be. So that was a 292. I know I need to slow down a little bit more. So we're going to go off of session last lap now, and I'm going to try and just slow down about a tenth or so, maybe a little bit more, just coming off. There you see I got off at 2 really, really well, gained a bunch of time, but we'll back down here in 3. So the big thing that you guys are going to have to watch out for is making sure that in center of turn 3, you're not letting the car drift up and getting into that wall too much. We lost a bunch of time there in 3 and 4. So we'll go back about a 50% there. We'll try and grab that left front down there on the apron to get it to rotate a little bit better. And this is what I'm saying, like for your lap times, you really, really want to try and keep it off that right front. And it's not going to be about going fast at the start, because the guys that go fast at the start, I don't think are going to have anything at the end. I think that's just a fact of it, is that if you go too hard at the beginning, you're going to be done at the end. Certainly exit at 2 where the car starts to get really tight after about 4 or 5 laps. That's really going to play into it there. Whoops, got to pay attention. And there's where we get into that corner. That was really close to catching that wall there. And you see too, if you've got to brake longer in that corner, it really hurts your lap times. So you just want to get into it right where you need to be. Grab that left front, let it drift up. Bring it back down. Down the backstretch here, pretty good lap time we're looking at. Bring her down here into 3. Let it rotate, then get back on about mid-corner. And look at that drive off that we get from being down lower and just being more patient versus driving up higher.
29.406.
Good drive off here. And then we go into 3 and we're looking at the same thing here. Nice little lift, let it rotate, now get back on. So you can see how running in the mid-4s really seems to do a lot more for us than trying to really focus on running the fastest lap possible. I think there'll be way more car left over at the end too for us. Another big tool to use is going to be your brake bias. And one of the things that you can do is inside the car, there's a screen just for in-car adjustments, and it's just brake bias. So more negative is going to free the car up, more positive is going to tighten the car up. I was looking at the brake bias button there, mid-corner. But let's go through now. We'll stop on track, and let's go take a look here at the garage, and we'll get all of our setup and everything for that too here. So we go into the garage. We see 96, 97, so we did a pretty good job of saving the tires. 233 to 228 for temperatures, so pretty even. But here in the chassis, I'm at 54% brake bias, way down from I think 64 that they start out with. A +4 steering offset. I just like that to not have to turn quite as far to the right down the straightaway, and then I use a 10-to-1 steering ratio. So definitely, I think, driver preference on all of this. The 54 brake bias, my thought process there is that I really want the car to rotate in 3 where I'm really using the brake. So I could potentially go lower on this. I would consider too starting this at like 49 or 50% in garage for the race. And then when I get in the car, going down and adding +3% to get it back kind of closer to where we are now. Just so that way you've got 6 percentage points that you can drop inside the car over 40 laps. It'll just help keep your car a little bit freer on at the end of the run. So, but if you guys have made it this far, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Head on over to Team 53 Discord if you have questions. We have free ARCA chat available. Not too many people have taken advantage of it right now, but free ARCA chat and discussion. If you guys are having problems, just drop it in that channel, and we will see you guys in the next video.